Manchester for the 2015 Party Poker World Pool Masters, one of the biggest prizes in pool. The venue, the Victoria Warehouse. We've had a thrilling opening to this year's tournament. Two of the world's top players were pushed all the way in their opening games. Shane Van Boening, who captured the title last year, had a slow start against John Morrow of Canada in this year's opening round. He had to come back from 5-2 down to take the match 8-6. 2014 world champion Neil Tryon was also forced to rally and take the last 3 racks to beat Marcus Shamat. Some sloppy scratches from the Swede cost him dearly, and we saw the 2013 Masters champion take his place in the last 8. The biggest shock came in the third match. Our boys, the local hero, had a tough contest against his Chinese opponent, Lu Haitao. He recovered from 7-5 down to level, but in rack 15 came the unthinkable. He missed the 8-ball and left the whole arena stunned. Boys was out. So Van Boening, Tryon and Lu Haitao through to the quarterfinals. Next up, it's the former world pool champion Daryl the Dazzler Peach against Qatar's Waleed Majid.
I started to play pool 11 years old. I like this game and my father teach me how to play. My career highlight is top 16 World 9-ball and top 16 US Open, top 16 Chinese 8-ball and Middle East Championship and Arab Rack champion.
The last couple of years I've been a little bit dry really. I've been playing well but just not getting the results. So I'm just hoping that this time, this tournament, I can, carry on my form really and things just roll my way. This tournament, the World Masters, it's one of the biggest tournaments on the calendar. The first thing is it's very hard to get into because there's only 16 players and because of that, every player's world class. So to win it, it'd be nearly as good as winning a World Championship.
Daryl Peach began his campaign to capture the title by winning the lag, and the first rack of the match as well. However, a dry break in the second handed control to Majid, who levelled the score. A dry break then from Majid in the third gave Peach a chance, but he failed on a jump shot, and Majid went on to win his second rack. We joined the action at the start of the fourth, Majid leading by 2 racks to 1, and he's at the table.
Rack 4, Waleed Majid to break, leading 2 racks to 1.
Well, just at the end there, he got a ball down. Will he get a shot on the 1? No.
Looked fantastic until right at the end, the last roll of the balls. Look at the green 6, and then he collides with the 8. Oh dear.
He could jump this, but I don't think he feels...
Push out call.
Yeah, he just calls a push. Well, you'd have to figure Daryl will take this on. So on a push out, Daryl Peach has the option to shoot this ball, or he can give the shot back if he doesn't like it. It's the only time in a rack of 9-ball that you can do that. Just a containing safety. And he's going to leave that open. This is not an easy shot, but a chance for Peach. plays safe. Tough shot on that one, no positional reward, so he goes for the safety, and that's a nice save.
Well, if he hits the one ball, no. Inadvertently on the way back, that would have been extremely lucky.
Ball in hand.
As it is, ball in hand, this really is a golden opportunity for Peach to get back onto level terms.
There's an example of, Daryl had the long shot on the one. He played the offensive shot on the jump in the previous rack, and it cost him. He could have played safe, but he went offensive. This time he goes defensive, and he gets the reward.
When he played the snooker, Ted, I'm absolutely convinced he thought Majid might hit the one ball and leave something on. He never anticipated that he would fail to escape from that snooker. It's a real bonus for Peach.
Now, I've watched Daryl Peach for many years. It's the first time I've ever seen him place the chalk on the table. Normally, he has a little pouch. He puts the chalk in.
Well, the crowd applauding, but must feel like daggers in Peach's heart, because queuing over the 9 ball and having to get up from the 4 to the 6, that's pretty much Tom Cruise territory, Mission Impossible.
Well, you can see he pointed his the tip of the cue by the middle pocket. Trying to bring it right there. That's where he pointed his cue stick.
That's probably as good as he could have done. In fact, it's very good from where he was. The use of running side enabled him to wind the angle and get some kind of position on the 6. At least he's got a chance to pot it now.
The thing is that he's done most of the hard work in this rack. And not only has he done all the hard work, he's left a wide open table for Waleed Majid. So that's got to be massively disappointing for Daryl.
I think it's fair to say, although it's perfectly effective, the cue action of Majid is rather loosey-goosey. The back arm very fluid.
He's an extremely strong player. And it's one thing to do it early in the match to make balls and to win racks, but it's in those pressure moments. And I've seen him come through time and time again, and he's had some great results in the last 2 years. That cueing right there. This to move up by 2.
I think it's fair to say that so far Majid has looked pretty impressive. Okay, there's been a couple of key errors from Peach, particularly the missed 6 ball, but it wasn't easy. And the man from Qatar has made a great start. 3 down, a possible 5 to go for him.
Well, in any sport, you have to close the deal, and Daryl Peach was well on his way to closing this sale. It was at the position on the 6 ball, and he failed to convert that 6 and left it wide open for Waleed.
Rack 5, Waleed Majid to break, leading 3 racks to 1.
Cue ball got away from him, and he scratched.
Start the clock.
Time and time again in this tournament we're seeing this. A player looks as though he's potentially getting on top, and then what does he do? Scratches from the break. It's happened so often.
I was just thinking the same thing, and here's his chance to put a noticeable distance between himself and Peach, and just a terrible break shot.
And of course with the 1 and the 2 going in, that's made Peach's life a little easier as well. The way the balls are, 3-2 is beckoning. You mentioned, Ted, when he beat Roberto Gomez in the final of that 2007 World 9-Ball Championship in the Philippines. I don't think this is an exaggeration to say it's one of the greatest Q Sports achievements, I think, by any Brit. To go there and win that title at that time, wonderful.
And also, he is a former World Pool Masters champion. 20 years ago, Daryl Peach won this event. Although if you look it up online, you might see his name, but you might not recognize him because he had hair back then. Long hair, too.
Yes, different format back then. The final was played over sets. And in that final, he defeated a fellow Englishman, Lee Kendall, 2-0.
Yeah, in that final, well, actually in the semifinals and finals of the World Pool Championship in 2007, I don't think I've ever seen a more pressure-packed situation than there, because he was playing in front, not just Gomez, he was playing in front of millions who were watching on television. The Philippines is rabid for pool.
Well, he handled the pressure well there, got the opportunity from a break that went badly incorrect for Majid, and now Peach is back in this. Majid's lead reduced to 3-2. Welcome back to the Victoria Warehouse, where the question, who will be victorious, Peach or Majid?
One ball on the side. Oh, that's a terrific break right there. Boy, if he can replicate that, he's got to be feeling pretty good about things right now after that break shot.
Well, that's exactly what you want to do each and every time you break off. In goes the 1, the 2 perfectly open, so too the 3, the rest of the table there for the taking, and Peach misses a 2-ball you cannot comprehend.
He did a Carl Boyes almost.
Same thing, overcut it.
Well, these pockets are very tight, so if you're going to hit it hard like that, you've got to make sure it's dead center in the pocket.
Well, he's got a shot on the 3, but it's not easy. One positive for him, at least position on the 4 is pretty much guaranteed, but this is no easy pot.
I fancy him to make this. He got lucky. He got very lucky there.
We talk about the great skill and the prowess of all of these players here, Ted, and there's no doubt they've got immense skill. But luck plays a big part, doesn't it?
Yeah, if that ball doesn't quite roll as much, Daryl has a clear shot. Oh, no, okay, you could see that. Well, perhaps we could say Daryl got a little lucky there.
I thought the cue ball might have been just a little too close to the 3, but it's okay for now, but this is definitely too close to the 5.
It's just to chip it. No, he cannot see that enough. I don't think so to pocket it in the side. He's checking it out. I think he can see it. Okay.
Well, this has been an adventurous visit. What a way it would be to draw level. And if the 7 goes in and any kind of position is obtained on the 8, you have to think 3-3 is imminent.
He's got to get this rack. He's struggled a bit so far. To not get this point would be devastating. To be down 4-2, demoralizing. And he should get this.
There's a 30-second shot clock, but Peach is far too experienced to be hassled by that. Not rushed, taking his time. And that's on a sixpence. On a dime, as you might say, Ted. And this match is on a knife edge. At 3-1, Waleed Majid was going well. Now at 3-3, Peach is right back in there.
Winner breaks here. Short races by pool terms. Just race to 8, winner breaks. However, you just think with that kind of format, you might just see a lot of routes, guys just putting racks together, putting their opponent in the chair. All our matches have been real testy affairs. Very hard-fought contests. There's been nerves.
Rack 7, Daryl Peach to break, 3-3.
I get the feeling, Phil, we're going to see a lot of drama in this event as we move towards the money rounds.
Well, that's not bad, you know. The 1 ball into the side, the 2 on, the 3 relatively open. Peach won't be complaining about that break.
Well, he's got to get past the 4 ball. That's the one he's got to look for position on. As it doesn't go into the top corner. Certainly the right corner could go into the left corner, but that's going to be some tricky position. Let's see what he does with that. That's what he's looking at now.
Playing that shot always raised the possibility of queuing awkwardly over the 6, but he didn't want to play for the positional gap between 8 and 9. Well, let's not mince our words. He missed that by a mile.
Well, the reason he had to hit it that hard is because of the position on the 4. Now, he makes that 100 out of 100 times if he's just shooting the ball. Of course, it's always about position on the next object ball.
Well, the pattern of the first 3 matches is being followed. Apart from being tight, as Ted mentioned, we're also seeing a combination of excellence and errors.
Oh, it's a nice shot there. Confident stroke.
And already ample evidence from Waleed Majid that when he needs to bank a ball, he's not frightened.
Look at the action on that cue ball.
Ideally wanted to avoid the 9 ball. He just grazed it. but it didn't make any great amount of difference.
Well, another reason why you have to be extra careful, can't lose your concentration on these shots. These pockets are very tight. You can barely get two balls sitting in the pocket together. They're jammed in there. And you'd really need a hammer almost to move the ball when you put two balls together in the pocket. It's very tight.
Majid led 2-1, 3-1. Now he's back in front at 4-3. Well, a very entertaining match, Ted. I'm sure you'll agree, and I don't think we're any wiser now as to who's going to win.
I hate to use the cliche, it's anybody's game. If you can come up with a suitable substitute for me, Phil, I'm sure you can.
It's anyone's match.
Anyone's match. Thank you.
Thank you, rack 8. Waleed Majid to break, leading 4 racks to 3.
Well, he had the one wing ball go in the opposite corner. So he's got 4 balls down on the break. Wow. Shot on the 2, but that's not going to be easy.
He destroyed that cluster.
That's the stroke right there.
Of course, these two went into this match knowing full well who lies in wait for them should they prevail in the quarterfinals. Their next opponent, the winner of this one, will be the defending champion Shane Van Boening.
He's almost got a stroke that is reminiscent of the Filipinos, that very flowery stroke. Moves the cue side to side. It works for him. It's working now. Waleed Majid. 5-3 over England's Daryl Peach. And now with a chance to open up his biggest lead of the match, this winner breaks format here at the Party Poker Whirlpool Masters.
Waleed Majid to break, leading 5 racks to 3.
Waleed made 4 balls on the break in the previous rack. He's got 2 down, but no shot on the 1.
Push out called.
To the surprise of no one, push out called. The 1 in close proximity to the 3. Now the art of a push out is to leave the cue ball in a place where you might fancy the shot coming up. You don't want to give your opponent a shot that he might relish. And it's an art in itself, determining in your own mind what to actually do and not to second guess yourself too much.
Yeah, it's very much like a chess match, the push out. So Daryl decides not to take it on. Certainly couldn't pot it, and didn't see any safety opportunity. You can see the table is very wide open in the middle there. So let's see what Waleed had in mind. Well, he did hit it.
With a push out, you don't want to leave a straightforward shot. Obviously, the player coming to the table would pounce on that. On the other hand, you don't want to leave yourself in a position where you're going to be put back in straight away with a really tough shot. It's a real tightrope to walk.
Like that one right there. Waleed got lucky. The shot is open, but this is very difficult cueing here. Well, that's unfortunate for Daryl. And he had to go offensive there. He finds himself down 5-3. Just, I think Daryl really feels that he needs to make something happen.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy to get into a complex analysis of a match. I think in this one it's quite simple. Peach has missed too many balls.
He must feel like he's stuck in the mud and just can't get his game in any kind of rhythm.
That's a cracking pot with the cue ball tucked under the bottom cushion into that middle, which is not the most inviting. And the white has travelled far enough for Waleed Majid to be able to pot the pink 4-ball cushion first. It looks as though another one is going to bite the dust.
I think it's fair to say that Waleed has found a bit of a rhythm now. That does not bode well for Daryl Peach and his fans here who have come to see him from nearby Blackpool, his hometown. It looks like Waleed's got a few fans who came here from Doha to cheer him on. 6-3 in favor of Waleed Majid. Last year in his first Whirlpool Masters, he did not get out of the first round, and he is looking good now in this race to 8 winner breaks format. He has a chance to move to the hill. That was the shot there. Daryl had to give up the table, missing that long shot on the 1. No shame in that. That was a tough shot.
Majid has built the
rack 10.
biggest lead we've
Waleed
seen
Majid to
in the
break.
tournament so far.
Leading 6 racks to 3.
That just tells you how tough of a grind these matches have been in this pressure-filled environment.
That's okay. He's got a clear shot on the 1, an obvious 1-3 combination. And the 2's in the open as well, right down the bottom end of the table, but nevertheless with a touch of deep screw here.
It looks like he made the 5-ball.
I think he wanted to hold the 1 a little better than that nearer the pocket. At this level, I think that might have been considered just a touch clumsy. Because it was a gimme combination. Had to hold the 1 nearer the pocket than he did.
This is really do or die time for Daryl Peach. And he finds himself in a safety exchange here. He'll be okay with that.
Tell you what though, good contact on the 1 here. The cue ball could end up behind the 4 and the 7 quite conceivably. Caught it slightly thinner than he wanted to. But Peach is partially obscured.
Well, this is the point in the match for Daryl Peach when all that patience that you've learned over the years, and you know that you've got to stay positive. You've got to have all that come to the fore right now. Patience, staying positive. Listen, you can get on a roll here in this race to 8. It's winner breaks. All you got to do is put a few together. And you're right back in the match. Oh, now that should be on. Oh, no. Not sure. That's very close. Can he see the full enough to go at this ball? Now, you know, I would doubt if he goes offensive.
No, he can't pot the one directly. Certainly not into the top right-hand pocket.
And they keep using that 4-7 cluster. Look out. No.
Foul shot. Ball in hand.
Well, in one respect, it was a good safety. We knew what he was trying to do. As Ted said, the 4 and the 7 is the blocking agent. But now with the cue ball in, ooh, expensive.
So what does Waleed do with this 4 ball? After he pots this blue 2. And try to break it up. That is a professional shot all the way. Wow.
5 pots away from being on the hill.
Phil, he didn't even blink. He just got right down, hit that 2 ball in. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Bring the cue ball up, break up that 4-7 cluster, create the opportunity on the 4 ball, and here he goes to the hill.
Off 3 cushions with lots of running side. He's playing some classy positional shots, there's no doubt about that. And it's always good to see someone from an emerging cue sports nation do well. And to get to the quarterfinals here and overcome a player of Daryl Peach's stature, very good for Qatari pool in general. And extremely good for Waleed Majid in particular. No mistakes. What a difference a year makes. Last year beaten in the first round heavily, this time on course for a heavy victory.
Thank you, rack 11. Waleed Majid to break, leading 7 racks to 3.
One more rack for Waleed Majid. And nothing down.
You see that so often.
No, it's...
One rack required. It's tantalising. The balls just won't cooperate. You're right though, Ted. It looks a very comfortable lead for Majid. Numerically it is. But we all know what Daryl Peach is capable of. Not over yet.
Nicely done. Of course, after you hit the object ball, the ball has to hit the rail. So that ball's frozen on the rail, so he's got to make sure to hit the rail with the cue ball here. Now that is a wall of balls right there, Phil. Wall of balls.
I think that's a great wall of balls. An obvious trap to lay, and Peach has done it really well.
Well, there's only one problem here for Daryl. This will be ball in hand.
Ball in hand.
This is not an easy table here. There's a lot of work left. And
of course, in pool, there's the 3 foul rule, that if you can extract 3 fouls from your opponent, you win the rack.
well, that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to go right back down to that wall of balls, I think, Just like this. Boy, Phil, he's really living out on the edge now, isn't he? One rack away from losing Daryl Peach, and he's trying to go on the 3-foul rule to win the rack. That's two fouls right there.
Second foul.
Well, so if he can do the same thing here and force Waleed into a third consecutive foul, Daryl Peach will win the rack. Who knows? Could that be the massive confidence boost that he needs?
This time again, plumping for the snooker, but it's going to be in behind the 3 with distance between cue ball and 1.
And put that 1 right behind the wall of balls. This is great stuff.
2 fouls.
Don't know whether you heard that. Waleed Majid acknowledged it. Information from the referee, Nigel Rees, saying you've already made 2 fouls, so there's no more leeway. Hit this, or we re-rack the balls.
Extension called.
There's a 30-second shot clock in operation. Each player is allowed 1 30-second extension per rack, and Waleed is taking his right here.
Foul shot. 3 fouls.
There it is.
The rack.
3 fouls in a row. So Daryl Peach wins the rack. That is really living out on the edge in pool terms.
Well, the 4 balls together was such an unusual configuration. They went in that position virtually off the break, and then Peach brought his great experience to bear. It's quite possible, unlikely but possible, that Majid won't get another shot. I mean, it's quite conceivable that someone of Peach's skill could win 4 racks with break and run out.
Absolutely. That's what makes this format so exciting. He's got the 1 in the side. But no shot on the blue 2. That's got to be tough. Yeah. No matter what you do, and you just can't get an open rack and a break and run out.
A collision between cue ball and the green 6 took the white down that end of the table, but even then, given the position of the 5, maybe Peach wouldn't have been able to get through to the 2 anyway.
Push out called.
And there's the push out. What has Peach done?
Reset
Well, he's
start the clock.
Said to himself, okay, I'm going to lay the snooker. It could be a case where I'll go back to the table almost immediately. He was anticipating this. Clearly he's thought of a possible way to resolve the situation.
Well, there's an alley between the orange 5 and the 9 ball. So he can kick at the 2. Send it up table. There are blocking balls. Well, I don't know if, could he take it off the rail? Could he perhaps jump the ball?
Playing with lots of...
He's right down on it.
Right-hand side, running side.
Slight masse, what a shot. Oh, he tried to hit it soft to get position on the 3. He's got a problem now, but he can play safe. A scratch. A lifeline for Daryl Peach.
Start the clock, please.
And I'll tell you what, Ted, it's 7-5. The whole complexion of the contest would have changed. And there's every likelihood that's going to happen. The unpredictability of this 2015 World Pool Masters. Just when you think you're going to see a comprehensive scoreline, Peach fights back.
He's been around long enough to know that as long as the match is still in progress, especially in a winner breaks format, there's no point in even worrying about the excuses you're going to make to the press afterwards about what went wrong. No point in writing your obituary before it finally happens. No, you've got to stay in the moment. You are always in the match. Oh, no. Oh, he got away with it. He got away with it. Missed the 5 in the side. But ended up in the safe. And you see him raise his hand in apology. You see a lot of the players do that. Just sort of, it's a sportsman-like gesture there.
Waleed Majid did the same. Unintentional snooker, but he'll gladly accept it.
Will it go? It might drop. Oh. Boy, the difference between success and failure in this game is so minute. He very nearly got lucky.
Now, though, Majid is the master of his own destiny.
Daryl very nearly got lucky, and it was one roll away from staying at the table. And now Majid with just 3 balls and a spot in the quarterfinals of the World Pool Masters will be his. Well, Phil, what a confidence booster this will be for Waleed Majid to move into the quarterfinals. And he's going to be a very dangerous opponent for Shane Van Boening.
A tremendous victory, assuming, of course, the 9-ball is deposited. After what's happened in the tournament so far, you can never quite tell. That is what you call a Doha double-up. The man from Qatar, the country's leading player, has defeated England's Daryl Peach by 8 racks to 4. His next opponent, defending champion, Shane Van Boening.
I am very happy because the first time I win first match in the World Pool Master, and I will try to continue and focus on my game.
It amplifies everything, does the race and the winner breaks as well. I mean, Waleed played very well, so I've got to give him credit where it's due. You know, it's not down to me having bad luck, it's down to him playing very well. He deserved the win.
Here's confirmation of the results in the top half of the round 1 draw. The winners so far are defending champion Shane Van Boening, Majid from Qatar, Lu Haitao from China, and the 2014 World Pool champion Niels Feyen. They're all through to the quarters. But still, we have plenty more round 1 matches to come. This is the bottom half of the draw, and next time Ko Pin Yi is up against England's Mark Gray.